Hello friends, in previous lecture we have studied the concept of list lower sum of f over sigma, then upper sum of f over sigma, and we proved the result that if sigma and tau are two subdivisions of AB and f is bounded function defined on AB, then lower sum of f over tau less equal upper sum of f over sigma. Okay, so what lemma we proved? Again I am writing that lemma. If f from AB to R is bounded function, then for any subdivisions, sigma and tau of AB, lower sum of f over tau is less equal upper sum of f over sigma. Okay, this result we have proved. Okay, whatever that two subdivision may be, this must implies is from this lemma, least upper bound of lower sum of f over tau, whatever tau subdivision may be, this must be less equal greatest lower bound of upper sum of f over sigma. Upper sum goes on decreasing, and this is your sigma. That is Riemann lower integral of f less equal Riemann upper integral of f. So this is known as Riemann lower integral of f from A to B. So this is the symbol for lower integral, lower A bar, upper B bar, and this is Riemann upper integral. Upper integral of f from A to B. This is definition. Where tau is any subdivision of AB, sigma is any subdivision of AB. Okay. This is always true. Now definition. A bounded function f from AB to R is the Riemann integrable if f belongs if Riemann upper integral is equal to lower integral. This is definition of Riemann integrable function. The class of Riemann integrable functions on AB is denoted by the class of set of all Riemann integrable functions. Riemann integrable functions defined on AB is equal to, this is the symbol for that. Class of Riemann integrable function defined on AB is denoted by this notation. Okay. Now example, if I take, say, let fx is equal to c for every x belongs to AB. For every x belongs to AB. Then for any subdivision sigma of AB, for any subdivision sigma is equal to x0 x1 dot dot up to xn of AB and ik is equal to xk minus 1 to xk, we have upper sum of a 4 sigma is equal to summation of supremum of a 4 ik into length of ik, k equal to 1 to n. And if you observe here, as fx equal to c for every x belongs to AB, so over ik, that fx also is equal to c, and therefore this is your summation c times length of ik, k equal to 1 to n, which is equal to c into summation of ik, and we know that summation of length of I1 plus length of I2 plus the length of In must be equal to length of interval x0 to xn, right? So this is nothing but length of AB interval, which is equal to C into B minus E. And therefore greatest lower bound, because this is for any subdivision, upper sum of a 4 sigma, this is also equal to C into B minus A, which is equal to Riemann upper integral. Similarly, lower sum of a 4 sigma, whatever that subdivision may be, it is summation of infimum of a 4 ik. F is constant function on ik, so infimum and supremum coincide, it is equal to C into length ik. This is again summation of C times length of ik, k equal to 1 to n, which is equal to C into summation ik, k equal to 1 to n, which is equal to C into B minus A, and this is same as, okay. Therefore least upper bound of lower sum of a 4 sigma, whatever subdivision sigma may be, this is equal to C into B minus A, which is constant number, which is equal to Riemann lower integral. So from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, integral f belongs to class of Riemann integral function on AB, and integral of a to b f is equal to integral of a to b c dx, which is equal to c into b minus a. Okay. This is your Riemann integral value. So what we proved, every constant function is Riemann integrable, and its integral is given by integral of a to b c dx is equal to c into b minus a by using definition. Now if you take next example, let psi be characteristic function. Characteristic function of rationals. in 0, 1. So that psi doesn't belong to class of Riemann integrable function on 0, 1. Here I can take closed interval AB also, that doesn't matter. So solution. Since psi is characteristic function of rationals in 0, 1, therefore psi x is equal to 1 if x is rational, and it is 0 if x is irrational. For any interval, since any interval J subset of 0, 1 contain rational and irrational numbers, therefore supremum of psi over J must be 1 and infimum of psi over J must be 0. Therefore, for any subdivision, sigma of AB, whatever 0, 1, upper sum of f over sigma is equal to summation of supremums of f over ik into length of ik. So that ik's are component intervals formed by sigma with usual notation that contain rational and irrational number both. So your supremum must be 1, right? So this will become summation of k equal to 1 to n 1 times length of ik, and which is equal to summation of length of ik is length of closed interval 0, 1, which is equal to 1. And lower sum of f over sigma, whatever that subdivision may be, summation of infimum of f over ik into length ik, this is equal to summation 0 times length ik is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, Riemann lower integral of psi is equal to least upper bound of lower sum of f over sigma, whatever that sigma subdivision is 0, and this is less than greatest lower bound of upper sum of f over sigma, whatever that sigma subdivision may be, it is 1 is nothing but Riemann upper integral of psi. This implies this characteristic function psi cannot belong to class of Riemann integrable function on 0, 1 by definition. Here if I replace this 1 0 by any two non-zero numbers a, c and d say, then we will get answer to be upper sum will become c into 1 minus 0. Okay, among that c and d, whatever your number greater than other one. Okay, so that function is also not Riemann integrable. Okay, so this is not only one example of characteristic function which is not Riemann integrable. On same line, I can construct infinitely many examples, just replacing 1 0 by any two non-zero numbers, where that two are not equal, where that two are not equal. Okay. Now we'll take the important result, that is necessary and sufficient condition for Riemann integrable function. Theorem. Necessary and sufficient condition for Riemann integrable function. And sufficient condition for Riemann integrable function. So let f from AB to R be bounded function. Then f belongs to class of Riemann integrable function on AB if and only if for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists some subdivision sigma of AB such that upper sum of A for sigma minus lower sum of for sigma, this must be less than epsilon. This is less than epsilon. Okay. So proof. So firstly, we will prove sufficient part. So let f from AB to R be bounded function. AB to R, the bounded function. And for given epsilon greater than 0, suppose there exists subdivision sigma, there exists subdivision sigma of AB such that upper sum of A for sigma minus lower sum of A for sigma is less than epsilon. This is 1. Okay. We know Riemann upper integral A to B f, integral of A to B bar f is equal to greatest lower bound of upper sum of A for sigma, whatever sigma subdivision may be. This is always less equal upper sum of A for sigma, and Riemann lower integral is equal to least upper bound of lower sum of A for tau is always less equal lower sum of A for tau. Using this one, least upper bound is greater equal every term in that set. Infimum is less equal every term of that set. So using these inequalities in one, we get Riemann upper integral f minus Riemann lower integral f must be less than epsilon. So if I multiply this by minus, then minus lower sum of a power tau is less equal this. Okay. So therefore Riemann upper integral f is less than Riemann lower integral f plus epsilon. Now therefore Riemann upper integral f is less equal Riemann lower integral of f. Okay. Therefore integral of upper integral is equal to lower integral. Since lower integral of f must be less equal upper integral of f always. This is always true. Is it clear? This implies yes, f belongs to class of Riemann integral function on AB. Is it clear? Now necessary part. Implication. Suppose f belongs to class of Riemann integrable function on AB. Therefore, Riemann upper integral of f is equal to Riemann lower integral of f is equal to integral of a to b f 1. If f is a Riemann integrable function, then its upper integral and lower integral is denoted by integral of fx dx. By definition, Riemann upper integral of f is equal to greatest lower bound of upper sum of f whole sigmas, whatever sigma subdivision may be, subdivision of AB. This implies this is the infimum. So infimum plus epsilon by 2, any number greater than infimum is not lower bound of that set. Okay. Therefore implies for epsilon greater than 0, integral of a to b bar f plus epsilon by 2 is not lower bound for set upper sum of a power sigma subdivision of AB. What this implies is there exists subdivision sigma 1 of AB such that upper sum of a power sigma 1, this must be less than upper integral of f plus epsilon by 2, which is equal to integral of a to b plus epsilon by 2. This is second in necessary part. Okay. Similarly, Riemann lower integral f is equal to least upper bound of lower sums of f for tau, where tau is any subdivision, or if I denote it by sigma here, doesn't matter. Okay. Sigma is any subdivision of AB. And therefore, for given epsilon greater than 0, this is the least upper bound of given set. So, any number smaller than this lower integral value is not upper bound. Okay. Therefore, for epsilon greater than 0, lower integral f minus epsilon by 2 is not upper bound, for set lower sum of f over sigma subdivision of AB. Any subdivision. There are uncountable many subdivisions of AB. Implies there exists subdivision sigma 1 of AB such that this is not upper bound. So, this lower integral f minus epsilon by 2, this must be less than lower sum of f over sigma 1. Now, for refinement subdivision, sigma is equal to sigma 1 union sigma 2 of sigma 1 and sigma 2, we have over the refinement upper sum decreases. Upper sum of f over sigma is less equal upper sum of f over sigma 1 is less than integral of a to b f plus epsilon by 2, and here integral of upper integral of f minus epsilon by 2 is equal to integral of a to b f minus epsilon by 2, because f is a Riemann integrable function, is less than lower sum of f over sigma 1, and over the refinement lower sum increases sigma. From 2, 3, 4, we get so taking epsilon by 2 on that side, what will get? So upper sum f over sigma, this is equivalent to minus lower sum of f over sigma is less equal minus integral of a to b f plus epsilon by 2. Okay. From this, taking addition here now, upper sum of f over sigma plus minus lower sum of f over sigma, this is less than, it is strictly less than, it is less than integral of a to b f minus epsilon by 2 upper sum. plus epsilon by 2 minus integral of a to b f plus epsilon by 2. These terms get cancelled. This implies upper sum f over sigma minus lower sum of f over sigma. This is less than epsilon. Thus, theorem is proved. So, with this discussion, we'll stop our lecture here. Thanks for listening lecture carefully. Bye bye.